Hello, hello, finally. So glad to be back with you guys. All right. So give me just 1 second. Bella. I started just a couple minutes early, so give me just a minute and then I will get started. I missed you guys. Glad to be back. All right. So there is a bunch of stuff that I want to get into. The last video though that I did was Scotty being found and the craziness surrounding that whole case. And then the one thing that did come out after that video was that there's going to be no more updates on the case at all. Like that was their update, that there's going to be no more updates. So either the cops figured out that there was total nonsense going on, that it was not, legit, or something happened that they're just not going to tell us about. So that's the only update I have for you guys on that I was not able to deliver before. So I just wanted to put that out there. All right. Now, I did talk. Just want to let some of you guys know I was not able to put a notification out on YouTube, but I did start a Patreon. For those of you that want to go over there and check that out, I'm able to put stuff over there that I cannot put over here. So I just wanted to put that out there. But yeah, that would be awesome if you guys would visit over there. I did do a video on the Nashville shooter over there. Things that I probably would have got in trouble for saying over here. But I do want to talk about it. Yes, but I do want to talk about it a little bit right now because it is being put on the back burner because of this whole Trump thing. And that's not okay. So I did want to also bring up the fact that Bella, I did also want to bring up a couple of things about this. All right. So all the news, and I'm going to pull up the article and I will show it to you. But all of the news stations have said that they're no longer going to, except a few of them, but the major ones said that they are going to, when they talk about this tragedy that took place in Nashville, they are not going to use the word transgender. Bella, what is your deal? You can't do that right now, babe. Stop. Chill. Sorry, you guys. Hold on 1 second, okay? Give me a minute. I just got to deal with my dog. Okay. So the reason they don't want to talk about it is the reason they don't want to mention it when they're talking about the tragedy that took place is because it makes that community look bad. All right. Now that's their reasoning, that they are under attack and that they cannot add to that. All right. Which I think is total lunacy since it's all over the place now, right? It's totally crazy that we want to not, this person identified as transgender. That has nothing to do with, you know what I'm saying? So this person identified as that. That's what they want to be. No, like that's what they want to be identified as. But we're not going to say that on the news. We're not going to talk about it because it makes the community look bad. I mean, that's crazy, right? I mean, that's crazy. That just doesn't make any sense to me. All right. Now, I also wanted to say, my dog is sitting right here. I know she wants to talk too. Yeah, she's sitting right here. All right. I also wanted to say that people around are saying that she is a victim, that she is the 7th victim in this tragedy. I just want to say, I think that's lunacy. Stop, Bella. she is not a victim, but there are 6 victims. Now, they are saying that she is a victim because her parents refused to identify her as she wanted, and she lived at home. So they refused to treat her like they treated her like Audrey, who she'd been her whole life. They refused to do anything else, right? So they're saying, well, that in fact made her a victim. Bella, stop. That in fact made her a victim. You know what? It's not important. The bottom line is she's not a victim. She caused there to be 6 victims. That's the bottom line. Okay. So let me just say that. Oh, and I went into a little bit more of this on my Patreon. So, I just want to be careful over here. So if you guys want to, I forgot to do it before, but I will put a link down in the description below if you want to go over there and check that out. All right. So let's start this thing, shall we, guys? Let's pull up some stuff. CBS News told staff to avoid any mention of Nashville, being transgender. Top executives at CBS News have banned staffers from using the word transgender when reporting on the Nashville tragedy, despite the fact that police have said Audrey Hale was just that and cited it as a key point in the case. The Post has learned her identity has not been confirmed by CBS News. The network's executives insisted in a Tuesday memo obtained by the Post. As such, we should avoid any mention of it as no known relevance to the crime. Well, no, it's not. It's not relevant to the crime, but it is relevant to who she says that she is, right? So, I mean, any other case, it's celebrated. So, I mean, why are we trying to hide it here? Yeah. Okay. The CBS News directive was delivered on a Tuesday morning editorial call by Ingrid Kiprian-Matthews, the executive vice president of news gathering, blah, blah, blah. Right now, we advise saying, please identify the suspect as the 28-year-old Audrey Hale, we know what happened to her, right? But not allowed to mention it at all, which everyone should find very odd because everywhere you go, everywhere it's mentioned, but don't want to mention it in this particular case. Okay. Let's move on. Let's move on to why she is a victim here, okay, guys? Hold on, okay, right here. Audrey Hale's parents are laying low and communicating only through their church. Okay? The family of Audrey Hale are laying low and communicating only through their church, according to their pastor. The 28-year-old suspect's parents, Norma and Ronald Hale, are only receiving messages through the church following Monday's tragedy. Their pastor, Jim Thomas, made a statement on the devout couple at a candlelight vigil service held at the church. By necessity, they have to lay low for quite a while, it looks like, or the foreseeable future anyway. The senior pastor told the congregation Bella, nobody's here. Chill. Stop. Sorry, guys. Hold on a second. Well, you're going to have to go down with Daddy. Sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to let my dog outside. Okay. So sorry. Sorry, everybody. All right. Anyway, back to this over here. All right. The senior pastor told the congregation that any messages for Norma, who worked at the church, and Ronald could be passed along through him. But if you have some messages or whatever you'd like to send them, you can get it to us and we can find a way to get it to them. This week, many of us find ourselves stunned into silence. So many of us have simply grown in our prayers or wept a river of tears and continue to do so because of the significance of all of the lives taken, this senseless act of violence. All right. Anyways, let's get to it over here. Okay. Police stated that Hale identified as transgender, and sources claimed that Norma and Ronald could not accept that their daughter was gay or her identity. Hale, who lived with her parents in Nashville, was allegedly prohibited from wearing men's clothing at home. Sources close to the suspect said that she would wait to change into men's clothes after she left the house. Hale also preferred to go by the name Aiden and used he, him pronouns. However, the insider claimed that the parents refused to comply with their daughter's wishes. As police and investigators continued to work to uncover a potential motive for the heinous attack, it was discovered that Hale had undergone treatment for an emotional disorder. Hale's detailed maps of the school and a manifesto, both of which were found after officers took her out, were sent to the FBI for further investigation. So because her parents refused to treat her the way she wanted to be treated, I mean, they're saying that this made her a victim, that she became a victim. And so really, had her parents not done that, this tragedy might not have happened. I don't believe that for 1 second. I don't believe that it's her parents' fault that she went out and did this, because there are a lot of people out there that are, don't identify as who they are, and they don't go out and do these things, even though people in their life are not with it. I mean, everybody just wants to feel for the victim for the suspect these days, for the perp. And it's crazy to me because so many people, I mean, you see the world going in that way where, look at Lindsay Clancy. She ended the life of 3 of her children and everybody felt bad for her because she was mentally ill and nobody thought she should go to prison. I'm sitting over here going, is everybody crazy? And now, like, think about all of the other times this tragedy has happened in different schools. And it's always been, nobody's ever felt for the person that did it. Nobody's ever, considered them a victim. Nobody's ever looked at them and said, well, let's try to understand why she did what she did. Why are we doing this? Why are we not just talking about the actual victims in this case? You know what I'm saying? All right, hold on. Let me get this out of there. Okay. All right, everybody, let's move on. So I hope you guys are good. It's been a long time. I haven't been on here. I haven't put anything out in a week, 7 days. I hope you guys have been good. Today was the first really nice day. Really nice day here. So that was super awesome. But then tomorrow it's supposed to be like 32 degrees. So that's how it works. All right. Hold on. Let me pull this next thing up for you guys. Okay. Oh. Okay. Just wanted to make sure I wasn't muted. North Carolina English teacher resigns after covering mouth of boy 11 with heavy-duty tape to stop him talking in class, in which he sent a selfie to his mother. An 11-year-old North Carolina student allegedly had his mouth taped shut by a 6th grade English teacher after talking too much in class. Catherine Webster received a text from her son Brady in February saying, "I don't know what to do," with an image of himself with layers of blue painter's tape stuck to his mouth during class at Smithfield Middle School. Horrified by the image of her son, who she described to be a chatterbox, who has a tendency to clown around, Catherine posted the shocking image to Facebook to bring to light her son's story and his interaction with Dawn Felix, who she refers to as Mrs. Felix in the post. DailyMail.com exclusively, who joined the Johnson County School in August last year after her identity was confirmed by Catherine. This is the picture of the boy. I kind of wanted to get your guys' take on it because, I mean, that's not, listen, listen. The kid may be a chatterbox and he might talk a lot during class, but nobody would be doing that to my child. Like, I mean, that's just crazy that they think they can do these things. Like, where did it go so wrong, y'all? You know, like, where did it freaking go so wrong? Because everything just seems to be ass backwards. Everything. I mean, it's crazy. So I wanted to share that with you guys. Oh, okay. Let me hold on. All right, hold on a minute, baby. All right, let me pull up this next thing. All right, a parent destroys 4J schools board after a teacher gave students an assignment which asked them to describe their fantasies in detail. All right, yeah, you heard me right? A teacher gave students an assignment in which he asked them to describe their certain fantasies. And in which you come to find out that the teacher, the kids did these assignments, and they were for the teacher to take home. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I don't know what happened in the last few years, but I mean, it's just insane. Yeah. Okay. Let's have a listen. All right, let me mute myself.
Good evening. Many of you know me, so I am here to discuss this atrocity of assignments. I want to first say you're a liar. It's not a rumor. I have the proof right here in my phone of with whom would you do it with? And my daughter specifically stated that the teacher put up a wheel on the classboard and it stated anal penetration, oral sex, licking of ear, kissing, and he wanted them to write down the initials of a boy or girl that they would do these activities with. Now, I don't know what's worse, wanting to know my child's sexual fantasy or who they're going to have anal penetration and oral sex with. What is he gaining from this? What do you gain from this information? Why has my daughter that naively did the assignment? Because she's scared. She wants to get good grades. She wants to be, get her license. She has to get good grades. And so she does this assignment. Where's the assignment? Why hasn't she had it turned back to her with her grade on it? What is he doing with it? Is this for his spank bank? Is he literally using this for his sexual deviant? These are questions that need to be answered. He verbally sexually abused every single child in that classroom. You look up the definition. I gave you the paper for the definition of verbal sexual abuse. Now, sexual abuse is sexual abuse. So where's the criminal charges? Why is he still teaching? Is it because he's the football coach and Churchill's doing good? Don't want to lose that hype? Because football doesn't matter when it comes to our children, okay? This sexual deviant needs to be removed. If you do not remove him, I am giving you my word today that tomorrow morning I will go down to the county clerk's office and I will file for the removal of every single one of you.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely. And more people need to take it upon themselves. I mean, especially if you have kids, nieces, nephews, grandchildren in these public schools. I mean, it's up to the people to go stand up and say something. It's up to the people to stand up to these boards and say, listen, if this is what my kids are going to get when they come to your school, they will no longer come. That's less tax dollars for you, because that's what it's all about with these schools. That's what it's all about, is money. And, I brought this up to Chad the other day. I said, what's crazy? I said, is we have armored trucks, armored money trucks that are bulletproof to protect money, but schools are not bulletproof to protect children. I mean, if they cared half as much about the people as they do money, the world wouldn't be in the state that it's in. But because money matters, that's what has to happen. People need to complain. They need to go there. They need to say, listen, I will not send my kids here, my grandkids here. I will not do it. You will stop getting funding because people will stop sending their kids to school to learn this trash, to learn this garbage. I mean, and that's all really. But, until people stand up to it and say that, listen, we've had enough. We're taking our kids' futures back and we're doing it right now. But until people do that, there's never going to be change. There's never going to be anything different. And that's just the way that it is. All right, let's move on. I want to please take a second to ask you guys to please hit that thumbs up. If you have not done so, please do that. And please sub to the channel if you haven't done so already. It's a free way to help out the channel. Okay. Sorry, let's move on. All right, now I played that clip for a reason. Because every time a tragedy like this happens, obviously there's people pushing for they call it reform, right? Pew pew reform. They're pushing for that. And you know, I this is what I think. This is my thing, right? This is just my opinion. I think people should be able to own firearms to protect themselves and their families in their house for exactly that reason that you saw right there, right? I believe everybody should have that right, except except mentally ill people. And I think people should have to undergo a psych evaluation before you could own a firearm. I 100% would jump on board with that. But removing all pew pews from people's lives is not going to make this world a safer place. Certainly not, because there will be, all the bad guys will still have them. Do you think the bad guys are going to hand theirs in? No. So the only people that are going to do it are the good people that think they're doing the right thing, right? Let me tell you, for people who live out in the country, it could take up to 45 minutes for police to respond to get to your house in the event that you had a break-in or a burglar or somebody there that could harm you. You're 45 minutes, you'd be DEAD before the cops even got there if you did not have a way to protect yourself. So I don't think going after all pew pews is the answer. And I mean, it's totally insane to me because I mean, not for nothing, but you could KILL someone with a freaking spoon. Are you gonna take? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's kind of crazy because the pew pew didn't walk into the building and do it itself. It was the mentally ill person on the other end that was the problem. So I just wanted to say that because home defense is an important thing. And I don't care whether you're right, left, I don't give a shit. Everybody should have the right to protect themselves and their families against harm. Had that wife not been able to do that, who knows what would have happened. Okay, anyway, I'm moving on. Okay. Oh, I thought this article was funny. Okay. How the Kylie Rodney case turned into a nightmarish internet witch hunt. From the beginning, the disappearance of Kylie had all the makings of a major national news story. A sweet smiling 16-year-old vanishes without a trace from a rowdy high school party. Concerned law enforcement announces it's possible she was the victim of an abduction. Days pass, clues fail to materialize, and in the absence of details from investigators, the internet rabble fills the void. I've covered nearly 100 missing persons cases and followed countless more, but I've rarely seen an online furor as heartless as the one surrounding Kylie. Within a few days, the internet speculation and conjecture became its own content machine. Some YouTube channels pumped out multiple videos a day, spending hours speculating wildly about the case. One channel even live streamed an interview with one of Kylie's friends, a minor who should be protected from, not subject to the scrutiny of strangers. Searching Kylie's name on YouTube yields a horrifying array of clickbait thumbnails and titles like Kylie Rodney, things are not adding up. And how is this not a red flag? They weave elaborate conspiracy theories. There's that word again. They weave elaborate conspiracy theories. And we all know what happens with a lot of conspiracy theories, don't we, guys? Many centering on the actions of some of Kylie's friends the night she went missing, accusing them of lying, leaving out important information, or otherwise conspiring about Kylie's disappearance. These theories do not bear repeating because they have no basis in reality. But the names of multiple minors are now all over the internet, in YouTube comments and Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok replies, linking them to the tragedy that will haunt them for the rest of their lives. You know why it's going to haunt them? You know why it's going to haunt them? Not because people on the internet dug around and found some stuff. That's not why it's going to haunt them. It's not going to haunt them because they had stuff that people could dig around and find. Right? It couldn't be that. Couldn't be the fact that hell, they probably all know exactly what happened to her. It couldn't be that that's going to haunt them. No. It's going to be the people that clickbaited to put out conspiracy theories. Now, when I don't know about you guys, but when people when people are like, "Hey, that's a conspiracy theory," I'm looking at it going, "Hey, it's probably true then, right? Then let me dig in and do some research. At least it's worth me researching now that you've called it a conspiracy theory, right?" Oh, I just wanted to mention that to you guys. I mean, for God's sakes. Okay. The guilt they no doubt feel for losing track of their friend at a party, and who among us hasn't experienced that at least once in their adolescence? Well, if it was just the fact that they lost track of her, but okay. Is now compounded by an internet paper trail of people accusing them of intentionally harming her. Even well-meaning people piled on, tagging sheriff's office repeatedly on social media, asking them to follow up on leads that were already done and cleared. No friend of Kylie's has ever been a person of interest. Yeah, we know. That's the problem, right? It's long been evident that the most likely scenario was that a 16-year-old got in her car, possibly intoxicated, and made a mistake that killed her. The Placer County Sheriff's Office received nearly 2,000 tips in 2 weeks. Every single one needed a follow-up, and you can bet that at least some of those tips came from breathless strangers who read a bad theory on the internet. I just want to take a second and just point out that the only people that seem to be working this case or working this story were the people on the internet. So I just wanted to share that with y'all. All right. Okay. Oh, this isn't the one. Hold on. Let me find. This is not the right one. Let me pull it up here. Sorry. I gotta find it. Okay. Here it is. Now, I don't know what it is with certain people just wanting to always wanting to be a victim. I don't know if they think it gets them sympathy. I don't know what they think. But there are actually women out there who are in abusive relationships. So when you find one that wants to fake it, and will do something like this to herself to try to frame her boyfriend, husband for abuse, it's not right. And they should be called out for that because it's so wrong. It's wrong on so many levels. Okay. So let's give her the attention that she's so desperately looking for. Now, woman beats herself with a hammer to frame her husband as an abuser.
Do your forehead again.
Can't. That hurt.
One more. Nope. What are you gonna do if he's lying and you're just abusing yourself for no reason?
Oh yeah, that's gonna be. Ready?
Yeah.
So when you have people that do things like that, when you have women that do things like that to frame somebody, to, make themselves look like the victim, to get people to feel bad for them, to try to falsely accuse somebody who obviously doesn't beat you because you had to do it yourself with a hammer and let your friend film it. I mean, I have zero sympathy for people like that. And, that kind of shit should not be. I mean, that's just ridiculous. It is. I mean, have you ever, like, I kind of wonder what she was thinking sitting there with her friend. And, was she just like, hey, what if I hit myself with a hammer? What if I, like, attack myself with a hammer and then blame it on him? I mean, just people are so stupid. All right, let's move on. Okay. Now, this was Biden this was after the tragedy took place. This is what he had to say.
My name is Joe Biden. I'm Dr. Joe Biden's husband. And I ate Jenny's ice cream, chocolate chip. I came down because I heard there was chocolate chip ice cream. By the way, I have a whole refrigerator full upstairs. I think I'm kidding. My name is Joe Biden. I think I'm kidding.
Just wanted to point that out, that there was a big tragedy that happened, and this fool is talking about he came down for the chocolate chip ice cream. So, I mean, when you live in a clown world, I mean, this is what is up. Okay. Everybody, please take a second. Remember to hit that thumbs up, please, and subscribe if you have not done so. No. Why?
Logan's staying here.
What?
Yeah. He asked Dad. And
I said.
Yeah, I know.
Did he already leave?
James.
Oh my God. All right, Hannah, go. I'll be down. Oh my Lord. Okay, guys, sorry. Let me pull this up. All right. Woman says she was drugged, kidnapped, and RA by West Virginia state trooper. A woman who said she was drugged, kidnapped, and RA'd by a West Virginia state trooper is considering suing. Jesse Forbes and Dante, the victim's attorneys, sent a letter to West Virginia State Police on Tuesday. The lawyers addressed the allegations and informed the police they will sue next month. We represent a woman who has been horrifically abused, drugged, and assaulted and victimized by the people that are supposed to protect us. They're supposed to protect you and me. They're supposed to protect our children, family, mothers, They're supposed to protect my client, and that is exact opposite of that. The letter claimed the incident happened in Logan, West Virginia in December 2021. It said that on the night of the incident, the trooper was flashing his badge around at the American Legion. Forbes said the victim woke up the next day covered in blood, urine, and other things. He said the unit at CAMC Women and Children's Hospital confirmed the woman was victimized. The hospital also contacted a victim advocate who reported the incident to the FBI. Following the alleged incident, Forbes also said the trooper tried to contact the woman through a Facebook message to ask if he left his hat in her car. What we have is a state trooper that has gone out, according to these accusations, and attacked her and planned it out through the process of drugging her and assaulting her and being so cold and callous to disregard her the next day. This is dangerous stuff, and it needs to come to light, and it needs to be addressed, and it needs to stop. Forbes said there was a previous notice filed about the October 2022 incident that was not acknowledged, and he is hoping the allegations will be taken seriously this time. This officer has obviously done this before, gotten away with it, and thinks because he has this badge that he can't be touched by treating a woman so low that she would have that stuff on her afterwards. All right. Now let's see if it says, hold on one second. Unfortunately, when you get this type of situation, most of the time predators don't only act one time. And so there's serious concerns that there's more events that took place in respect to this trooper. We're in the process of investigating those, and we hope to have more information soon. West Virginia Governor Jim Justice confirmed the FBI was looking into what he referred to as multiple within the state police. However, it is unclear if the case is one of them. Wow. The FBI is looking into RAPES within the state police. However, it is unclear if this case is one of them, meaning how many more cases do they have? No criminal charges were ever filed in this case, and 13 News is not naming the trooper. We reached out to WVSP Chief of Staff Jim Mitchell for comment, and he said WVSP is aware that the FBI is investigating allegations against one of its current employees. WVSP's internal investigation of these allegations will follow the FBI's investigation to avoid interfering with it. So basically, will it ever come to light? Will the charges ever come through? Will anything ever happen? I guess they'll have to wait and see, but it doesn't look good. I mean, the FBI's, they say they're investigating. I guess we will see. Okay. All right, let's see. Mom rejects school's belated apology for teacher's hooker game. Not good enough. A Texas mother rejected an apology from her daughter's former school as not good enough after it took months for officials to notify parents about a teacher's hooker role-playing game played with students. Okay. I was just talking to you and I forgot that it was muted. I don't think you heard any of what I just said. So, Ashley, thank you for the 5 gifts. Thank you for the $2 super chat. I will get who the author of that. I think it's San Francisco Chronicle, but I will let you know. I'll email it to you if I can when I get done with this. CY Kyle, thank you for the 5 months. You guys are awesome. Okay.
Girls pretending to be middle school is now apologizing to parents 6 months after students were asked to play a game in class by their teacher that had 13-year-old girls pretending to be, quote, seducing hookers. The school leader sharing this statement: sometimes we stumble with activities, with actions or words like hooker or seduce should never have a place in our schools. While the intent was never to sexualize a child, I recognize that the impact may have caused students to feel uncomfortable or traumatized. Laura Maria Gruber pulled her daughter out of that school after learning about this. She joins me now. Laura, thank you for being with us. Tell us what happened.
So exactly what you guys shared. It was actually boys and girls that were asked to participate in this game. If you've heard of it or if you've Googled it, it's basically a replacement of rock, paper, scissors, which they could have just played rock, paper, scissors. And it has children pose, role play a angry bear, a shooting hunter to another peer, right, pointing to another peer, and then a seducing hooker with a hand behind the ear and one on the hip. So that's they were lined up in order of maturity level, so youngest to oldest in one class, and then in another class they were lined up, or they were actually offered candy. So, and it was 2 separate teachers in 2 separate classrooms.
Oh, so this happened in more than one class.
Yes, I got actually reports from 3 children, my child in one class, 2 children in another class were able to corroborate that it happened in 2 classes, yes.
So your daughter came home and told you about this. Was it the day it happened?
The moment, like the second I picked her up, yeah.
Was she upset?
She was absolutely, her word is cringed, absolutely grossed out, yes.
So the school's response, what was their immediate response, or was there one? Because now we're seeing 6 months later, they're saying sorry. Is that good enough?
No, it's not good enough, but their immediate response is like, okay, let's schedule a meeting, right? Which I had no idea that I had never done a school grievance before. I had no idea what I was signing up for. I met with the principal through Zoom a week later. So I requested the meeting a Monday. I was able to get on with her on a Friday. And basically they do intake, they listen to you, and then they make you wait. I got a reply from her basically saying that she had granted some of the remedies that I requested, which were a few. One of them that was granted was that she had communicated, sent a letter to parents saying that there were counseling services or, therapy services available at the school. What I didn't know is that it never really referenced the game at all. So why are we sending a vague letter home saying that there's counseling available at school when the parents don't know, what that's for? And then also she stated that although she felt the game was inappropriate, that she didn't consider it sexualization of children. And then from there, I appealed, and I appealed to her boss, who's the deputy superintendent, head of schools here in San Antonio. And he said the same thing. We support, the first level. I also don't think that it was sexualization of children. The next guy told me the same thing, who's the superintendent. This is the regional superintendent of schools here. I appealed, and this was all over about a month to, each. I waited about a month or so between each reply. So here we are now at 5 months, and I get, or 4 months, and I get a reply back from the CEO of schools. So she's in charge of all Texas schools and tells me the same thing. I support my staff, and I don't believe that kids receive sexual education through this. I don't believe that kids were sexualized through this. So at this point, I go to the board. So I go to the board and. Yes, sorry.
Really quickly. So do you think that they're just now getting around to this? Have there been other kids pulled out of the school? Is it just because they're trying to clean up?
I know one other child was pulled out, but I don't, I don't know of any other. As soon as this happened, I pulled my child out, so I didn't really get to address it with other families. And I do know that they just weren't communicated with, like details were not sent home. So why would a parent pull their child if they had no clue? So they waited 5.5 months after the board got angry to send a letter home with details. So
Yeah, you said that the parents didn't know this happened until that letter came out. I bet that was very startling for a lot of people. Laura Maria
Right.
Gruber, thank you so much for your time this morning. We appreciate it.
I mean, it's crazy, it's playing hookers in school. Teachers are asking kids to write down their fantasies. I mean, what is happening here? It's crazy, you guys. Okay. I think I only have one thing left, and then okay, yep, right here. All right, sorry about that. Okay. I'm not muted still, am I? Okay. Breaking. Maryland Democrats are seeking to prohibit anyone under the age of 25 from being charged with felony murder, citing that their brains are not fully developed yet. So you want nobody under the age of 25 can be charged with felony murder because their brains are not fully developed enough to what? Realize what murder actually is. But look what children and young teens, look what people are doing to them, and their brains aren't even close to being halfway developed. But at 25, you can't be charged with murder in Maryland. I mean, see, that is going to be terrible. That's a terrible thing to do. Like, I can't even believe that they're considering that. That just sounds crazy to me. Yeah, it just sounds crazy to me, you guys. So, again, thank you guys all for being here. I'm glad to be back with y'all. That's awesome. Yeah, thank you. And also, do not forget about my exactly, Lassie. You can have all these. You can have these surgeries, but you can't. You can't be charged with murder. Come on. Okay. But so I want to remind you guys about my Patreon. I did start that. That's, I can put stuff over there. I can't, I got to be careful here. So there's that. When you become a member, there's 2 tiers on my Patreon: $3 a month, $5 a month. It's all exclusive content. So everything I put over there, you will not find here on YouTube. You will not find on Twitter. You will not find on Insta. You won't find anywhere else. So I just wanted to let you guys know about that. What else? Please sub to the channel if you have not done so already. It's a free way to help out the channel. Please hit that thumbs up. Anybody that wants to do more links, do you want to donate to the channel? Links are all down in the description below. So glad to be back with you guys. I have a couple of things coming out tomorrow. So I just wanted to let you guys know. I got a couple of videos that will drop tomorrow. And then we'll go from there. So we'll talk about it tomorrow. But I love you guys. Stay strong, stay healthy, stay safe. Keep asking those hard questions. Keep spreading that light. And I will see you next time. Everybody have an awesome, awesome night. Bye.